Castellano, lección número 23, 13 de septiembre de 2021. Los números y la hora. Los números. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so you see a pattern where you have from 11 until 15, the numbers finish with fe. 11, 12, 13. And usually at the beginning, you've got something a little similar to the number. 1, 11. 2, 12. 3, 13. 4, 14. So you remember that 4 is cuatro. It loses the U. 14. All right? And then the only number, well, in the 10th that has got a Q is 15. All right? And then the rest is very simple. It's 10 and 6. 10 and 7, 10 and 8, etc., etc. And then you come to the 20s, 20. All right, when you come to the 20s, normally all the numbers, they go with the number of 20, 40, 50, etc., etc. And you do I1, I2, I3. So you got the number of the 40, for example, 40. And then you got 40 y 1. So you got a number in different words. In the 20s, it's different. All right. So first, we're going to learn to say 20, 30, 40, etc. So 20, 20, 30, 30. So don't forget to say the A, the E, and the N. 30. Ainda. I'm just doing the E-I-N. Ainda. Ainda. It's not A, it's A. Ein. 30. 40. 50. 60. 70. 80. 90. All right, so there is patterns that you have to remember. From the 40s, all the 10th, 40, 50, 60, etc., they end up with enda. All right? So this is from 40, sorry, till 90. All right? So 20. You've got, for the 20s, the Y transform into an I, E. So you got 21, just one word, 21. 22. So here you got an accent because it ends with an S, all right? 23. So it's not 23, it's 23, etc., etc. Okay? 30, it's very simple. It's 31, 32, 33, and so on. 40. All right, so you got enta, because it's 40. And then the rest is the same. 41, 42, 43, etc. 50, 60, all the same. If you know how to say the 60, you know 61, 62, etc. Same for 70, for 80, for 90. Then you got 100, which is 100. Then when you have 100 and something, it's 101, 102, 111, 111 for example. 112, 112, 121. All right, so you have all the numbers you know before, and you just add them to 100 when it's 100. When it comes to 200, you have to put a plural. Very simple. So 200, 300. All right. So you've got another cue for the 500. You remember we had 15 for 15, and you got 500. 500. So this one is peculiar. This one I put it into blue. Okay. And then we continue with 600, etc., etc. All right. Ejercicio los números. Los números en cifras, los números en letras. So the numbers in numbers and the numbers in letter. All right, I'll give you a little time. 8. 12. 11. 15. Remember this one? A little different. Okay. 9. 25. So remember on this one, the 20s, the Y and the different words, it comes into one word and it says 25. 37. All right, so as soon as you pass the 20s, you've got 30, 30, and 7. 37. This one is easy for you. 5. This is your age. 42. 100. Okay, continue. 4. 58. 89. 16. 200. 100 is for 100. 200, right? Because it's 200. 112. So you remember I told you it's 100 when it's exactly 100. And when it's 100 and something, 112, 105, it's 100 and then 12. 12. 112. 88. Simple. 10. 99. All right. This one is peculiar. Remember. 500. La hora. All right, so, ¿qué hora es? What time is it? ¿Qué hora es? So, here, very simple, when it's one, it's singular, and all the rest is plural. Es la una. La una, one. Son las dos. 2 o'clock. Son las tres. All right, so then you know your numbers. You got 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. When you are between the exact time and a half and 30 minutes, you have to say es la 1:05 and 5 minutes. So you can say es la 1:05 minutos. All right? All right. So you got all the numbers for 10 minutes. Y 20 for 20. Y 25 for 25. And then you got y cuarto, and a quarter of an hour. Son las 3:15. 3:15. Okay? You can also say that it's son las 3:15 minutos. Then you need to say minutos, all right? And you got son las 5:30, 5:30, all right? When you come to between 30, after 30, and before it's the hour, you've got to say the time by, you have to calculate. If it's, for example, 2:55, okay, so you got to start with son las 3 because it's almost 3. And how many minutes are you wishing to add there? You say menos 5. 3 minus 5 minutes. That's 2:55, right? So when you're right here, it's menos 25. Because if you calculate over here, you've got 25 minutes until you get to the time. This is 30 minutes, and then you got 29, 28, 27, etc. 25. Then you get to 20, 19, etc. Right? So, like here, you got menos cuarto. Menos cuarto. Minus a quarter of an hour. Right? So, when you give the time, if you say es la 1 de la mañana, it means 1 in the morning during the night. If you say es la 1 de la tarde, it means 1 in the afternoon. All right? So you can say, for example, here between 9 o'clock and 12, you can say son las 9 de la noche, because it's nighttime, right? There's no more sun. Son las 9 de la noche. Son las 10 de la noche. Son las 11 de la noche. All right? Ejercicio la hora. La hora en cifras. Time in numbers. La hora en letras. The time in letter. All right? Give you a little time. Es la 1:10. You can say 10 minutos. de la tarde. PM, de la tarde. La 1:10. So it's 10 past 1, right? Es la 1:10 de la tarde. Or you can say es la 1:10 de la tarde. Son, because it's more than 1 hour, it's more than one, so son las 6:15, and a quarter, okay? De la mañana, AM, right? Son las 9:25 de la tarde. Las 9:25 de la tarde, right? So you remember, 25, all the 20s, all together, no Y in a few words, it's just one word with I, 25 in the middle. Son las 2 de la mañana, right? Son las 4:30 de la tarde. 4:30 and half, 4:30 de la tarde, PM. All right, so here you got to count backwards because it's after 30 minutes, after 7:30, it's 7:50. 7:50, there is 60 minutes in 1 hour, so to get to 60, you need 10. So you have to say, son las 8, you have to go to the next hour. Son las 8 minus 10 de la mañana. Son las 8 menos 10 de la mañana. Las 8, it says 7, but it's almost 8. Son las 8 menos 10, because to get to 60, you need 10 minutes. Son las 8 menos 10 de la mañana. Es la 1:15 de la mañana. All right, so we're in the morning. It's almost 1 o'clock, but it's between 30 and 1 o'clock. So you got to say it's not 0, but you got to say es la 1, because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So es la 1:15, minus a quarter. So in English, it's a quarter to 1. Okay? De la mañana. Okay? AM. Es la 1:15 de la mañana. Son las 7:25 de la tarde. All right, so 35, it's 5 minutes past 30, right? But really, it is 25 minutes before it comes to 7 o'clock. So you got to start saying son las 7, instead of 6, you say son las 7 menos 25 de la tarde. Son las 6:05 de la mañana. Almost 6. There's 5 minutes to come to 6, so you say son las 6:05 de la mañana. Son las 11:14 de la mañana. When you want to be very precise, you don't say in a quarter, you say in 14 minutes, right? So you have to say son las 11:14 de la mañana. So you have to say minutes because you're not saying and a quarter, right? And all those, when you're saying here 25, son las 9:25 minutos, you can add, but you don't need to say it. But when you say something as exact as I say, son las 11:14, son las 11:14 minutos de la mañana. Fin de la lección número 23.